Hey everyone, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small, and today we're doing a quick unboxing. This is well, not a Kickstarter, but similar to it. This is from Steve Jackson Games. It is Ogre Set number 4, which was released on Backer Kit, and which is like Kickstarter. And I jumped in because I love everything Ogre, and receive that. Now, before we dig in, just talk a little bit about Ogre. If none of you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about a big, giant, two-legged dumb guy with a club. I'm talking about a giant cybernetic battle tank. Ogre is a very long-lived game. It started out as a tiny little pamphlet that came in a Ziploc bag, if I remember, and you had to cut out the pieces with scissors, and the map was just like a folded sheet of paper that had a printed map on it. It was a very simple game. It cost like $2.95, and basically it was a giant cybernetic battle tank attacking a bunch of conventional military forces and trying to destroy a command post. So you either played as the ogre trying to crush a command post, or you played as the normal humans in normal, tanks, and you tried to prevent your command post from being crushed. That was the basic game, and it was great. I started playing it when I was like 10, and over the years, they've released other things. They had miniatures, they've had miniature sets, they've had expansion games like GEV, which is a ground effect vehicle. And lately, in the last some years, they've had a resurgence, and they've built a lot of the miniatures now in plastic. I do have a huge collection of metal miniatures. I didn't necessarily need this to complete my collection, but one, I wanted to support Steve Jackson Games and the Ogre universe, and two, it's more little tanks in this game, and how can you say no to that? So with that said, Ogre Set number 4 was the set that included the North American Combine units. So there's one set of units. There's you've got your ogres, which are your big cybernetic tanks, and then you have your conventional armor, like heavy tanks, light tanks, ground effect vehicles, power armored infantry, howitzers, things like that. And those were all of one design. The ogre was of another design. Somewhere along the lines, they released a second set of conventional equipment that represented another faction that's designed differently. So the tanks don't look exactly the same. Combine tank looks different from a pan-European heavy tank, for example. So while those models existed in metal, you can't get them anymore, and this has been now released in plastic. So this had basically the Combine version of the basic equipment. So with that said, I already cut it open. Now, one thing I am going to say, I'm a little disappointed just in the packaging. So this is all I got in the packaging. I had to go out to my stash just to refresh my memory, and previous Kickstarters came in glorious boxes. This was maybe their first Kickstarter and of course I got the many minis box. They came in nice boxes. This set, however, did not come in a box. So, does that mean they're not planning to have this as a retail launch? I'm not sure. I don't know what that means, but just a little disappointed there. I ordered, so this would be set 4. And then this is actually set 3. This is going to be a bonus unboxing. I did not, I missed Ogre Set 3, which was just some giant ogres. So I picked it up as a bonus as part of this. It had things you could add on. So I picked up this. So let's go ahead and go to the close-up camera, and we'll take a look. We'll bust this all open and take a look at the quality. All right, let's check out what we got here. We've got the Miniature Set 3. This is Miniature Set 4. So they, let's see, molded these in bright red plastic, which is kind of cool. I know Steve Jackson Games with this particular game, Ogre, has gotten, I almost want to say cutesy, not in a bad way with some of the stuff. Like gimmicky. Like they have like a glow-in-the-dark set of these you could purchase, which is really cool if you don't want to paint them. But let's take a look. So we'll start with this bag. Okay. So this bag has 3 frames in it. Just from my Ogre experience, I can tell you these are light tanks. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 12 light tanks. Looks like you have to put the treads on separately with push fit. Then we have the missile tanks. We got 6 of these missile tanks, which are pretty cool. Again, looks like the treads are separate pieces, the missile pod on the top. So, you know, each tank is 4 pieces, not too bad. So you got 6 of those. And then these look like the mobile howitzers. You got 4 of those. Again, 4 pieces per tank, the treads, the turret, and body. So details pretty similar on all of these. This red plastic is kind of shiny. I don't know if that's the mold release agent or what, if this might stand a soapy wash before putting a primer on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. So the nice thing is, too, in a normal game of Ogre, you're getting enough of these pieces to feel the typical force. You're not going to be feeling like you're missing a lot, which is good, unless you're wanting to make like a specialty build, like all heavy tanks or all howitzers or something silly like that. And I guess I should mention, I want to say I believe this set was $40 US, plus the shipping, which in today's day and age for miniatures is pretty good. Okay, so we got a couple of frames in here. Okay, the first one, let's look at this one. These are light GEVs. You got 6 of those. Look like they're 2 pieces each. Again, really shiny, but hard to see the detail. Okay. Then we've got heavy tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heavy tanks. Heavy tanks are always a personal favorite of mine. And again, it's push fit tracks, push fit turret. If you see the detail of that. Then we have a string of infantry. Now the infantry are not to scale. They are, you know, obviously bigger than they should be because they would be minuscule in a game like this. And this way, it's just better playability, you know, honestly. All right, then we've got, these are GEV, which are ground effect vehicles, APCs, like personnel carriers. So they actually have slots. You could put your figures in here if you wanted. That might look silly, though, with the giant guys in here. Or, you know, just keep them empty as cargo. These look like one-piece models. Pretty simple stuff. This is the mighty howitzer. They are fixed position, so you plop them down on the map and they do not move. Again, it looks like 4 parts. Very straightforward. I like the howitzer. Pan-European version is like a square. This one's a circle. But, you know, very, like all of these models, you know, they hail from the 70s. The original designs for most of them anyway. And they're somewhat simplified. There was a very clean design aesthetic to it. So not a lot of greebles, you know. Personally, I like it, but it does, you know, the models do look simpler. But it's also going to be easier to paint because you don't have 12 billion little things to pick out or 100 skulls or what have you. All right, then we got another package. Oh, my goodness. We're almost there. The anticipation. All right. We've got three more frames. These are super heavy tanks. And again, it's looks like 2 tracks, a hull, the turret, which I believe does not move. I think it's like a fixed, like a tank destroyer, and then 2 guns. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces for each one. And there are 6 of those bad boys. Big tanks, the biggest conventional vehicle in the game. Once you get bigger than this, you're in ogre territory. Then you've got the GEVs. I love the Combine GEV aesthetic. And I love the original GEV actually too, the Pan-European one. But these are kind of cool. Like they're kind of insect-like. They've got fancy fins, like an airplane. You got 8 of these, which is good because you never want to leave home without GEVs. These are the most maneuverable units in the base game. And then you've got more infantry. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stands of infantry. These are designed to kind of clip in and out. And that may work well for you guys. I just glue them in. And if I, you know, need to represent a unit of 3 squads being cut down to 1 squad, I might just put a die by it to show what the health is of that particular stand. Otherwise, during the gameplay, you have to kind of fiddle with, you know, each one of these slots, you put 3 guys on each one. Each one represents a squad of guys. And then you have to pluck them out. And I'm just worried about those, you know, long-term tabs, and then during a game having to pluck them in and out of the holes, just that wearing or breaking off. So I'm just going to glue them. That's what I did with the other ones. But yeah. So that is infantry and super heavy. So that's all the Combine stuff. And then it also came with some ogres. And this is still the 4th set. These are the little ogres. Man, they use some really good tape. Okay, what do we have here? All right, we have Ogre Mark 1s, which are similar in size. They're a little bit bigger than like a heavy tank, or sorry, a super heavy tank. And they're not that much more powerful, but they, you know, they get the ogre rules, which gives them some durability on the battlefield. But they are the tiniest. These are Ogre Mark 1s. You get 2 of those in the set. And then Ogre Mark 2s, which you start to see the growth of, you know, starts to look more like a conventional ogre instead of, these are looking more like tanks still. And this is where the ogre starts to get its shape. You got tank treads, you've got main batteries, looks like secondary batteries, and the ogre tower, which is iconic to the ogre look. Now these, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are replacement or alternate tracks for the fencer or Dopnal soldier, I think I pronounced that right, from set 3. There might have been some issues or something with how it was assembled, so these are alternate tread units for that ogre. All right, so that's everything in set 4. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a bonus unboxing. We do have set 3 here. Which has 2 of the biggest ogres in the game. This is a Mark 6 ogre. So there are models for Mark 1 to Mark 6 now out in plastic. Is there a Mark 4 in plastic? I can't remember, but this one's my favorite. It's just giant. I have one of these in metal too, and I just love it. Black, it's hard to see all the detail, but it's got 3 primary weapon, primary batteries, 6 secondary batteries, like 3 missile launchers and 6 missile racks. So it's really just a beast. And then this is the Combine version. The classic ogre look is basically a Combine, North American Combine ogre. And the Pan-Europeans have like fencers, and this is, like I said, a Dopnal soldier. So this is to replace this. I don't know, these ones look smaller, so I'm not sure. Maybe there was some overhang or something on these. But this is the biggest of the Pan-European ogres. So set 3 was just these 2, which were probably the largest tooling, so they just had them together. And you really don't need, unless you're playing mass battles, you really don't need more than one of these bad boys. But now that they're out in plastic, it's easier to collect them if you want. Well, I guess you could have more than one if you wanted like different paint schemes and things like that. They, aren't that bad price-wise, and they certainly look awesome. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's a look at some of the Ogre miniatures, and let's go back to our overview and conclusions. All right, guys, there you have it. That's a look at the starter set for... Okay, guys, there you go. That was a look at the Ogre Set 4 from Steve Jackson Games. If you like Ogre, check them out. They're on Warehouse 23, I think, website. And I don't think this set's available yet, but I'm sure it will be shortly. Ogre is really a fun game. It's a granddaddy of tiny little skirmish tanks, I think. And I enjoy it. I love the models, and like to be able to sharing it with you guys. So check it out if you're interested. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, if you like what we do here, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. Click that bell to receive notification when we release new content. Yeah, you can also check out our YouTube memberships, where folks there get access to early videos and things like that. And it also helps support the channel and keep doing fun things like this. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Keep on gaming.